All right, I want to start this lesson by giving all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rekah, Kodash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles and teachers and wise men of great millstone that I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Salutations out there to the elect. All right, let's start with this video that I'm going to play, and then I'll pause it and get a few scriptures going into end time prophecy. All right, so this is what's going on currently. It's the U.S. and Israel is going to war with Iran. You see, so this is prophesied to happen. So let's play the video.
Is expanding, systematically destroying Iran's military, blowing up its missiles, and killing its leaders. President Trump saying it could last 4 to 5 weeks.
We will easily prevail. We're already substantially ahead of our time projections, but whatever the time is, it's okay.
The Pentagon today announcing it's sending more troops and fighter jets to join the operation, which President Trump launched at 3:38 p.m. on Friday.
The president directed, and I quote, "Operation Epic Fury is approved. No aborts. Good luck," close quote.
But the war is also spreading to new countries with new risks. In Saudi Arabia, drones targeting the U.S. embassy in the capital, Riyadh, a fire breaking out there. A Saudi official telling NBC News there were no injuries. In Kuwait, 3 U.S. fighter jets were shot down and seen plummeting from the sky. The Pentagon said it was friendly fire, that the jets were hit by Kuwaiti missile defense systems. The crews all ejected and survived. In this video, you can see a parachute on the ground and what appears to be an American pilot in the back of an SUV, looking healthy but rattled. As the Pentagon announced, at least 6 American service members have been killed. The Pentagon saying it now has total air superiority over Iran, allowing the U.S. to hunt down the missile launchers Iran is using to carry out attacks, including against Israel, where an Iranian missile made it through air defenses this morning. Prime Minister Netanyahu touring a town where 9 Israelis were killed by another Iranian strike. Iran is not just hitting Israel, but multiple Arab countries. Iranian fighter jets attacked Qatar, but were shot down, according to the Qatari military. In Bahrain, Iranian drones hitting residential high-rise buildings. In Kuwait, the international airport damaged by an Iranian drone strike. And tonight, Iran targeting Saudi Arabia, with damage seen in these oil fields. The Washington Post reporting over the past month, Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has urged President Trump to attack Iran, according to 4 people familiar with the matter. And we've learned the U.S. and Israeli strikes were launched on Saturday because intelligence showed Iran's supreme leader would be at a meeting of senior officials that morning, according to 2 sources briefed on the matter. In addition to
And this is prophesied to happen, you see. Let's get this in the book of Matthew 24. Let's start at verse 3. It says, "And as he, whom people ignorantly call Jesus Christ," is talking about Yahweh Shai, "as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am anointed, or I am a Mashiach, and shall deceive many." Which you have that still going on. You have people that are being deceived by false prophets, false teachers, people that say that they're anointed, that they're the Messiah. You see, so a lot of people are being deceived by those type of people. It says, verse 6, it says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars." You see, we're in this time now, and we're hearing about wars. The U.S. and Israel is going to war with Iran, which has started about, a week or 2 ago. "See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, because it's not going to come immediately after. You see, more bad times are prophesied to happen. Verse 7, it says, "For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom." You see, so we're getting closer to these times. Nation rising against nation and kingdom against kingdom. It says, "And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." So we're in the beginning stages of sorrows. You see, so these things or wars are supposed to happen, which indicate what? The return, that we're getting close to the return of Yahushua, the Son of God, to bring an end to this place.
Ayatollah Khamenei, the U.S. says 49 leaders from the Iranian regime have been killed. Iran has not confirmed all of the deaths.
We also projected 4 weeks to terminate a military leadership, and as you know, that was done in about an hour, so we're ahead of schedule there by a lot.
While inside Iran, officials say a girls' school was hit this weekend with dozens killed. The U.S. says it's investigating. There have been demonstrations supporting the Iranian regime, but also Iranians celebrating the death of the Ayatollah. His government deeply unpopular among many Iranians. All as President Trump laid out the objectives of the U.S. mission.
We're destroying Iran's missile capabilities, and you see that happening on an hourly basis. Second, we're annihilating their navy. We've knocked out already 10 ships. They're at the bottom of the sea. Third, we're ensuring that the world's #1 sponsor of terror can never obtain a nuclear weapon. And finally, we're ensuring that the Iranian regime cannot continue to arm, fund, and direct terrorist armies outside of their borders.
President Trump saying Iran walked away from negotiations, but a senior negotiator directly involved tells NBC News talks were making progress and were scheduled to resume. For now, no U.S. ground troops appear to be involved, although the Pentagon is not ruling them out.
This is not Iraq. This is not endless. I was there for both. We'll go as far as we need to go to advance American interests. But we're not dumb about it. You don't have to roll 200,000 people in there and stay for 20 years.
While Secretary of State Rubio suggesting this operation is about to intensify.
The hardest hits are yet to come from the U.S. military.
Richard and his team join us live tonight.
Yeah, the war is going to get more and more, worse, because the scriptures prophesied that the least of the flock, which is Israel, the people in Israel now, these fake Jews, which, the U.S. aids them during the times of war, how the least of the flock, these Amalekites, these fake Jews who are over Israel right now, how they're known as the least of the flock in the Bible, how they're going to draw out the U.S. As a matter of fact, let's get that. It's in Jeremiah. The least of the... You see, because they're going to draw America out. You see, because America is going to be supporting it, but they're going to draw America out, and these other nations, they're going to, like it's prophesied in the scriptures, they're going to hate the whore and make her desolate and naked and eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So these nations are going to rise up against America. You see, all right, this is Jeremiah. Let's see. Let's read Jeremiah 49 and 21st. It says, "Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he have taken against Edom." You see, we're in a modern Edom right now. You see, and his purpose that he have purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. You see, and we're in the inhabitants of Edom and Teman, which is what, modern day America. You see, because that's the places that the Edomites dwelled in, Edom and Teman. You see, so that's all a part of the Edomite structures that they've built. You see, their dwelling place, Edom and Teman. It says, "Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out." And the least of the flock is these Amalekites, these so-called Jewish people. I mean, these Jewish people, these fake Jewish people. Let's see, it says, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. You see? So America and Israel, they're going to lose. Right now, they're going to war with Iran, but that war is going to intensify. And there are going to be other wars, which are all going to lead to what? World War III, where these nations are going to eventually hate the whore and make her desolate and naked. Let's read Jeremiah 50:45. It says, therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Babylon. You see, we're in the daughter of Babylon. You see, because the scriptures say what has been is that which shall be again. There's no new thing under the sun. We're in Babylon the Great. It said in his purpose that he have purposed against the land of the Chaldees. We're in the modern land of the Chaldees. These ancient sorceries and witches. It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. You see? Now let's get this scripture. As a matter of fact, let's let the video play out. Then I'll get that scripture in Revelations. Slovakia.
Tonight from a bombed out building there in Tel Aviv. And Richard, Israel and U.S. forces still very much on alert tonight as Iran continues to fire. And now there's a new warning tonight from the State Department. There is, Tom. Good evening. This building was hit by an Iranian missile. One woman was killed. And you can see that even with the risk, even with ongoing attacks against this city, construction crews are here clearing away debris. And the State Department just a short while ago issued a warning to American citizens to evacuate from 14 countries in the Middle East, including Israel, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. Richard Engel with that new warning tonight. Richard, we thank you, and we're learning more about how this military operation unfolded and where it's going from here. Our senior national security correspondent, Courtney Cuby, joins us live now. And Courtney, you have details about President Trump giving the military the final order to proceed?
Yeah, that's right, Tom. The first wave of strikes began with tomahawks fired from Navy ships and long-range precision munitions fired from aircraft outside Iran, taking out air defenses and paving the way for manned aircraft. Next up, B-1 and B-2 bombers began flying in, striking hardened underground missile sites and vertical silos with huge bombs to penetrate deep underground. Over 1,200 targets already hit. President Trump saying a big wave is still to come, and while officials won't speculate, one possibility remains the nuclear program, which so far has not been struck. One U.S. official said the goal of the operation is to hit hard and overwhelm Iran as quickly as possible, ideally in weeks, not months. Tom?
All right, Courtney, thank you. Now to the White House, where the Trump administration is defending its decision to attack Iran amid Democratic criticism. Gabe Gutierrez joins us now live from the White House. And Gabe, Secretary of State Marco Rubio speaking to lawmakers late tonight?
Yeah, Tom. Secretary Rubio saying there was absolutely an imminent threat to justify this operation. He argues that the Trump administration knew Israel was preparing to strike Iran, and that if the U.S. had waited for Iran to retaliate, Americans would have suffered higher casualties. Still, there has been mixed messaging here. Rubio and Hegseth saying today that regime change is not the goal, although the administration would like to see it happen. Those comments coming after President Trump urged Iranian protesters who recently faced a brutal government crackdown to take to the streets again and topple the regime. Rubio and other top officials expected to continue briefing Congress tomorrow.
And the Lord is working on the minds of these kings. You see, the Lord is using his angels, which he makes into spirits, to work on the minds of these kings in order to gather them together into that great day, the day of the Lord. Let's get that in Revelations. Slovakia. As a matter of fact, let's get it. Let's see. Slovakia, bear with me. Revelations. All right. Revelation 17 and 16. All right. It says, And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and eat her flesh and burn her with fire. That's because America's allies are going to turn with them, and they're going to join these other nations and bringing America down. You see, and they're going to burn her with fire. That fire is what? The nuclear missiles that's going to make a lake of fire from an observable view from above. When you look down at America being destroyed, it's going to look like a lake of fire. So his allies are going to turn on. So their allies are going to turn on them. This beast system is going to have his allies turn on them. The whore is going to be hated by his own allies, and they're going to join these other nations. Russia leading the charge, and they're going to be destroyed by fire. Verse 17, it says, for God have put it in their hearts, which the word heart goes back to the Hebrew word lob, which means your mind. It says to fulfill his will and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. See, so they're going to agree in the beginning, but now their agreements are going to fall apart because the least of the flock, Israel, is drawing out America, and America is getting too prideful. You see, these other nations they're gonna hate her. You see, I mean these other nations, including their allies, are gonna hate her and destroy her. You see. All right, let's continue the video.
Tom. All right, Gabe, our thanks to you. And tensions are high once again across the Gulf tonight, with several countries targeted by Iranian attacks, including Dubai, where our Keir Simmons is reporting tonight.
Tonight's conflict is spiraling and spreading to Iraq, Lebanon, and as Gulf countries threaten to join this growing war. Iran targeting major cities in the Middle East with hundreds of missiles and drones, including this one in Bahrain. First the buzz, then the blast. Dubai's iconic hotels hit, many Iranian munitions still being shot down today. Here a burst of smoke beside the world's tallest building, and the moment of impact at another hotel.
And I just heard this really loud bang.
Alex Bouquet, who runs an American firm, fled to an Airbnb in the desert.
We grabbed our passports as well, and we just started driving off.
This was Dubai Airport over the weekend and nearby Abu Dhabi. Thankfully, passengers have been evacuated. Thousands of flights cancelled in a region that is a critical hub for the world's commercial airlines. Sarah Metzi from Tennessee is in Dubai for her 20th wedding anniversary. She found herself filming munitions exploding outside their hotel. What are you thinking when you're filming this?
That I've got to be in a dream. This can't be real. I never in a million years thought this would happen.
They've been urged to stay inside.
I just want to get home to the kids. I miss them terribly.
Iran's objective in all this, to pressure its neighbors, to tell Washington, cool off the war.
And this is far from over. Keir Simmons joins us live from Dubai. And Keir, I'm being told there are now new attacks in Dubai tonight.
And Iran, that's just one part of that flood that the Lord is going to send to Babylon, of that assembly of great nations that the Lord is going to have raised up against her. You see, you're going to have Russia, North Korea, and these other nations rise up, including the NATO and EU nations, their allies. You see, so Iran is just the first step, but the Lord is going to appoint a captain over these other nations. Let's get that. I think it's in the book of Ezekiel. A captain over her. Slovakia. Slovakia. Let's see. Let's say a guard. Slovakia, I think it's a guard. Be a guard unto them. Because Russia's going to be a guard unto these other nations. Let's see. Yes, in Ezekiel 38, Salakia. All right. Let's go up. All right, Ezekiel 38, verse 1, it says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. And Russia is settled in these areas." And see, Russia represents Gog in that land, in the land of Magog, in the modern times that we're in now. It says, "And prophesied against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws." It's like, yeah. It says, "And put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thy armies, horses and horsemen, and all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company," you see, "with bucklers and shields, and all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shields and helmets," you see. "Gomer," which is Turkey, "and all his bands, the house of Tergamar, of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with them. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled with thee, and be thou a guard unto them." You see? Okay. It says, "After many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into a land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people, against the mountains of Israel, which has always been waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them." All right, let's see. "Thou shalt ascend like a storm, and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, it shall come to pass that at that same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought." You see, and the evil thought is going to be what? They're going to hate the whore and make her desolate and naked and eat her flesh and burn her with fire. It says, "And thou shalt say, I will go up into the land of unwalled villages, America, Babylon the Great, and I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil and to take a prey, and to turn thy hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, and let's see, which have gotten cattle and goods that dwell in the midst of the land." You see, so the Lord is gonna, let's see, the Lord is gonna send these other nations, and Russia's gonna lead the charge. It's like I have to search it. Set a captain over them. Let's see. Set a captain over them. KJV. Because Russia's going to be that captain that the Lord is going to set over them. Or Salakia, Russia's going to be a guard unto them. I don't know what scripture it is, but I'll just have to search it some other time. But the point is that the Lord is going to cause Russia to be a guard unto these other nations, that he's going to rise up to join with Russia, which is Gog, in order to bring America down. All right, let's let the video play out.
That's right, Tom. I just heard a series of loud booms echo across this city. Another barrage of missiles from Iran. Tom, tens of thousands of Americans live in this region. Tom?
Keir Simmons, please stay safe tonight. There is also a new threat from Iran around the critical Strait of Hormuz, where much of the world's oil passes through, with implications for the prices you pay at the pump. Christine Romans is here tonight, and Christine, Iran with a very serious threat.
Yeah, and Tom, what happens to oil prices depends on what happens here in the Strait of Hormuz. It's a narrow waterway where about 20% of global oil passes through. And tonight, Iranian state media is saying Iran will set fire to any ship trying to pass through here. You can already see shipping there at a virtual standstill. Oil prices jump today, and every dollar that oil prices rise translates to about 2.5 cents for a gallon of gas. That means, for example, $10 spike in oil, 25 cents at the pump, and American wallets are already feeling this, Tom, these surging oil prices. The national average for a gallon of regular gas today topping $3. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the administration anticipated this and will announce steps to mitigate it tomorrow.
Okay, we'll see what that plan is all about. Christine, thank you. We thank you for watching it.
Yep, and gas prices will continue to rise. So, all these roads are leading to World War III. You see, that great war in the valley of Yehoshaphat, the valley of Yahweh's judgment. All right, so I'll end the lesson here. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rekakwadash. Shalom.